Hey there, welcome back to the channel. If you're here, chances are you're looking for ways to improve your relationship, or maybe you're just curious about what you might be doing wrong without even realizing it. Relationships are beautiful, but they can also be challenging. They require effort, patience, understanding, and, most importantly, awareness. Here's the truth. A great relationship isn't built overnight. It's built brick by brick with small, consistent actions and a willingness to grow together. Unfortunately, even with the best intentions, men often make mistakes that can slowly erode the foundation of their relationships. Some of these mistakes may seem small at first, but over time they can create big cracks in trust, love, and connection. In today's video, we're going to talk about 10 things a man should not do in a relationship. These aren't just random tips, they're lessons rooted in real-life experiences. For each point, I'll give you an example to help you understand the impact of these actions. So, if you're ready to level up your relationship skills, grab a seat, maybe even take some notes, and let's get started. 1. Don't ignore her feelings. Let's start with a big one. Ignoring your partner's feelings. In any healthy relationship, communication is key, and that means listening, not just hearing, but really listening. Dismissing or minimizing her emotions can make her feel unheard, unimportant, and even disrespected. Example, imagine your partner comes home after a tough day at work. She's visibly upset and starts venting about how her boss was rude to her. Instead of listening and showing empathy, you shrug and say, "It's not a big deal. Just let it go." While you might think you're helping her move on, what you're actually doing is invalidating her feelings. Over time, this pattern can create emotional distance. A better approach? Pause whatever you're doing, to give her your attention, and say something like, "I'm sorry you had such a rough day. That sounds really frustrating. Do you want to talk more about it?" Sometimes all she needs is to feel understood. But don't compare her to others. Another major mistake is comparing your partner to other people, whether it's an ex, a friend, or even someone you admire on social media. Comparisons can make her feel like she's not good enough, which can damage her confidence and your connection. Example, let's say you're scrolling through Instagram, and you casually say, "Why don't you dress up like this influencer? She always looks so stylish." Even if you don't mean to criticize, this comment can make her feel like she's not attractive or desirable enough in your eyes. Instead, focus on appreciating her for who she is. Compliment her unique qualities, and let her know what you love about her. Something like, "You always look amazing no matter what you wear," can go a long way. 3. Don't take her for granted. One of the biggest pitfalls in relationships is getting too comfortable and taking your partner for granted. It's easy to assume that she knows you love her, but love isn't just a feeling, it's an action. Failing to show appreciation can make her feel undervalued. Example, picture this, your partner goes out of her way to cook a special dinner for you after a long day. Instead of thanking her or even acknowledging her effort, you eat silently while scrolling on your phone. This small act of indifference can hurt her deeply over time. To avoid this, show gratitude regularly. A simple "thank you for making dinner, it's delicious," can make her feel appreciated and loved. 4. Don't be emotionally unavailable. Emotional availability is a cornerstone of any strong relationship. If you consistently shut down, avoid vulnerability, or refuse to open up, you risk creating a barrier between you and your partner. Example, imagine your partner asks, "How was your day?" Instead of sharing anything meaningful, you reply with, "It was fine," and change the subject. While this might seem harmless, it can make her feel like you're keeping her at arm's length. Try to open up, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Share something small like, "Work was a bit stressful today, but I'm glad to be home." This invites connection and strengthens intimacy. 5. Don't break promises. Trust is the foundation of every relationship. Breaking promises, even small ones, can chip away at that trust and make your partner feel like she can't rely on you. Example: let's say you promise to pick her up after work, but you forget and leave her waiting. Even if it was an honest mistake, this could make her feel unimportant. If you can't keep a promise, communicate in advance and apologize sincerely. And when you do make a promise, follow through. It shows her that she can count on you. 6. Don't criticize her constantly. Constructive feedback is important in any relationship, but constant criticism can make your partner feel inadequate and unloved. No one wants to feel like they're always being judged or that nothing they do is good enough. Example: imagine your partner spends hours cleaning the house and preparing a meal for you. Instead of appreciating her effort, you walk in and say, "Why didn't you mop the floors? And the chicken's a bit dry." While you might think you're just pointing things out, this kind of nitpicking can be incredibly hurtful. Instead, focus on what she did well. Say, "Wow, the house looks great and dinner smells amazing." If there's something that genuinely needs improvement, address it gently and at the right time, not when emotions are high. 7. Don't be controlled. Control is the enemy of trust and freedom in a relationship. Trying to control your partner's actions, decisions, or even the people she spends time with can lead to resentment and a loss of individuality. Example: let's say your partner wants to go out with her friends for a girls' night, but you insist she stays home because you don't trust her or think it's unnecessary. This kind of behavior can make her feel stifled and unappreciated. A better approach is to support her independence. Say, "I hope you have a great time with your friends tonight." Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship, and showing that you trust her will strengthen your bond. 8. Don't dismiss her dreams and ambitions. It's essential to support your partner's goals and aspirations, even if they differ from your own. Dismissing or belittling her dreams can make her feel undervalued and discourage her from pursuing what makes her happy. Example: imagine your partner tells you she wants to start her own business. Instead of encouraging her, you laugh and say, "That's too risky. Just stick to your current job." While you might think you're being practical, this response can crush her confidence and make her feel unsupported. Instead, say something like, "That sounds exciting. How can I help you get started?" Being her cheerleader shows that you believe in her and her ability to achieve great things. 9. Don't avoid conflict. Avoiding conflict might seem like the easy way out, but it can actually make things worse. Sweeping issues under the rug doesn't make them disappear. It only causes them to build up and eventually explode. Example, let's say your partner brings up a concern about your behavior, like spending too much time on your phone. Instead of addressing it, you brush it off with, "I don't want to argue about this." While you might think you're avoiding a fight, you're actually avoiding resolution. Healthy relationships require open and honest communication. Instead of avoiding the conversation, say, "I understand why you're upset. Let's talk about it." This shows that you're willing to work through issues together. 10. Don't neglect quality time together. Life gets busy, but neglecting quality time with your partner can make her feel unimportant. Relationships thrive on connection, and that connection requires consistent effort. Example, imagine you're always busy with work, hobbies, or hanging out with friends, and your partner starts feeling like an afterthought. She suggests going on a date night, but you reply, "I'm too tired, maybe next week." Over time, this lack of effort can make her feel like the relationship isn't a priority. To fix this, carve out intentional time for her. Even something simple, like cooking dinner together or taking a walk, can go a long way in strengthening your bond. Prioritize her and she'll feel valued. 11. Don't be dishonest. Honesty is non-negotiable in any relationship. Lying, whether it's about big things or small ones, can break the trust that's so vital for a healthy partnership. Once trust is gone, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. Example, imagine your partner asks you if you've been texting someone she doesn't know, and instead of being honest, you lie and say, "No, it's just a work thing," even though it's not. She eventually finds out, and now not only does she feel hurt by the action itself, but she also struggles to believe anything you say moving forward. The solution? Always be upfront, even when it's uncomfortable. Say something like, "Yes, I've been talking to someone, but I'll explain the context." Honesty shows that you respect her and value the trust between you. 12. Don't be overly defensive. Nobody's perfect, and in a relationship, there will be times when your partner points out something you could improve on. Responding with defensiveness instead of openness can shut down communication and make her feel like her concerns don't matter. Example, let's say your partner tells you, "I feel like you've been spending too much time on your hobbies and not enough time with me." Instead of hearing her out, you snap back, "I'm not doing anything wrong, you're just overreacting." This response invalidates her feelings and puts up a wall between you. A better response? Take a deep breath and say, "I didn't realize you were feeling that way. Let's talk about how we can fix this." It's okay to take responsibility without feeling attacked. 13. Don't neglect physical affection. Physical affection is an important way to express love, whether it's holding hands, hugging, or even just a gentle touch on the shoulder. Neglecting this aspect can make your partner feel disconnected from you emotionally. Example, imagine you're both sitting on the couch, but instead of cuddling or sitting close, you're glued to your phone. Over time, this lack of physical connection can make her feel distant and even unloved. Try to be intentional about small gestures of affection. Reach out to hold her hand during a walk, or surprise her with a warm hug after a long day. These little moments can mean the world. 14. Don't be selfish in the relationship. Relationships thrive when both partners are willing to give and take. Being overly focused on your own needs without considering hers can create imbalance and resentment. Example, let's say it's her birthday, but instead of planning something special, you decide to spend the day watching sports because it's your only day off. While it's okay to have personal interests, prioritizing them over important moments with her can make her feel like she's not a priority. A more thoughtful approach? Say, "I'll watch the game later. Let's celebrate your day first." Compromise and mutual effort are key to making a relationship work. 15. Don't stop putting in effort. One of the most common mistakes in long-term relationships is becoming complacent. Just because the relationship feels secure doesn't mean you should stop trying to impress her or make her feel special. Example, think about the early days of your relationship. You probably planned fun dates, sent sweet texts, and made her feel cherished. Now, imagine years later, you hardly show her the same effort. She might start to feel like you're no longer invested. The fix? Keep the romance alive. Plan a surprise date, write her a thoughtful note, or simply tell her how much you love and appreciate her. Consistent effort shows her that she still matters to you. Alright, we've covered some things a man should not do in a relationship. Let's take a moment to reflect. No one is perfect, and relationships aren't about perfection, they're about progress. If you recognize any of these behaviors in yourself, don't beat yourself up. The fact that you're here watching this video shows that you care about becoming a better partner. The truth is, relationships take work. They require patience, empathy, and constant learning, but the rewards, love, trust, and deep connection are absolutely worth it. If you enjoyed this series, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might find it helpful. Let me know in the comments what you learned and what you're going to apply in your relationship. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.